Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all of my days. And when I think of your favor, I can't help but give you the praise. And Lord, you came into my life and you took away all of the strife. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. And it shall follow me, follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, and it shall follow me, follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Good morning, everybody. Jesus is a great Savior. Of this you can be sure. All his works are marvelous, and his word is ever pure. When he gave your only son, Lord, you gave your very best one. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Sing it, y'all. And it shall follow me, follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, and it shall follow me, follow me. Surely goodness and mercy, surely goodness and mercy, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wealth Channel. I don't know what's going on over here with Instagram, but let's see if we get this straightened out. I'm gonna stop you guys and turn you back on, okay? So you can stop and turn back on. And 1 second, you all. Let's help out everybody on Instagram get back on, okay? All right, hopefully it'll work this time. And good morning, everybody. God bless you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to the Wealth Channel. This is Brother Ricky, gracious host. And this morning we're going to be talking about this idea, the idea of consistent resistance. But first, let me say hello to some of you. Good morning, Leah. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Good morning to you, Queen Lisa. Good morning, Berlin. How are you, dear? Good morning to you, Keymaker. Good morning to you, Brother Phillips, Jay Phillips. I believe that's Brother Phillips. I believe that's correct. Hopefully that's right. And Content for Days. Good morning to you as well. Good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And we apologize for the technical difficulties over here on Instagram. We don't know what happened, but it is what it is. So let's get straight to this word. First of all, happy Memorial Day to all of you. I know you have loved ones who you're thinking about right now that have passed on before you. We pay great tribute to our soldiers and to everybody that's gone on. We pay great tribute to you. All right, so let me make sure that this thing is actually working over here. All right. I believe everybody can see now. Okay, so let's get straight to this lesson this morning. And this lesson is found, it's a couple of chapters here in Luke. And this is Jesus talking. And Jesus is giving us an example of what it means to be consistent in the marketplace. So there's two ideas that I want you all to consider this morning. And one of them is that our poverty is something that we have the ability to be able to resist. You say, how do you resist your poverty, Ricky? By showing up every day in the marketplace. That's how you resist your poverty. Good morning, Valerie. How are you? And Dooner, Dinosaur, good morning to you as well. And Brother Harold, good morning. So, what do you mean, Ricky? What I'm saying is this. When we neglect putting out our gifts, when we neglect just going forward and making our presentations, when we neglect, actually stepping up to the plate, and swinging and actually going to the court and taking a shot, when we neglect doing that, then what we do is we invite poverty into our lives. You said, Ricky, what do you mean? What I'm saying is that all of our lack is based on the fact that we just don't put in the effort because of various reasons. I'm going to teach you some of the reasons, and I'm going to teach you what Jesus is teaching us too. And that's that we have to take our shot. We have to just go ahead and go for it. One thing's for sure, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Last night, the Miami Heat was playing basketball. I was watching the game, and it was 3 seconds left. So they throw the ball in bounds, and this guy named Marcus Smart, They try to throw the ball and bounce to their favorite player. His name is Jason Tatum. He's their best player. So they try to throw the ball into him. But Miami knows that he's the best player. So they tell the guy who's guarding him to to turn around, don't even guard the guy throwing the ball in. He forgot all about the guy throwing the ball in. He says, so don't even pay no attention to him. The guy throwing the ball in, he's insignificant. Pay attention to the other guys, especially the guy who got the best shot, the best possibility of making a shot. So Jason Tatum, he pops out to get the ball way out, almost by half court. The chance of him making a shot way out there is almost, zero. But they don't want to give him no chance to take the shot because they're afraid of him because he's a good shooter. So the guy named is Strus, and he guards him, face guards him. They can't throw the ball to him. So the second option is a guy named Marcus Smart. So Marcus Smart, he catches the ball. They throw the ball into Marcus, and he takes a shot. He rushes the shot. And in the meantime, so he takes a shot. Now, the thing about winning and losing in life is, are you taking your shots? All right, are you going for it? And then let the chips fall wherever they fall. But are you going for it? So he takes the shot, and the ball goes in, almost goes in, and then it rattles out. And the clock is going down 3 seconds, 2. And then you think the game is over with because the ball comes out. But then here comes this guy named Derek, who comes from out of nowhere. And he's the guy that threw the ball in. So he's the one that threw the ball in. Nobody paying no attention to him. He races just by instincts, just races down towards the rim, just in case he might be able to do something. Just in case, he's just hanging out around the rim, just in case this ball don't go in. And sure enough, with 1/2 nanosecond left, he tips the ball in before the lights goes off, signifying that the game is over with. And boom, the Boston Celtics now are playing in the 7th game. What's my point? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And this young man just hung out around the possibility of being able to get a rebound and knock the ball in. In other words, he followed up on the shot that didn't go in. So his team is still in the game. I want to ask you a question. How much following up are you doing to make sure that your team stays in the game? I want to ask you that question. Who is your team? Your family, your lineage, your posterity. What are you doing right now to ensure that your posterity, live to see another day? Does stay in the game, get a chance to do go to the finals. Are you listening to me? This is the issue with us as human beings, and our issue as kings and queens is that we don't hang around long enough to see no final result. We assume the game is over with. Why? Because of the resistance that we got. But what you need to understand is that we need to be resistant, not resistant abundance. We need to be resistant poverty. Why? Because poverty shows up in the form of inconsistency. Poverty shows up in the form of atrophy. In other words, poverty is the fact that you just don't do anything consistently. That's why everybody that's got a problem with money, everybody's got a problem with passing something down to their kids. Everybody who is not fulfilling our duty and not fulfilling our purpose and not fulfilling our potential in life, we have one major opponent, and that opponent is poverty. That's who we're playing against. That's the game that we're in. And all we have to do to resist poverty is just be consistent in our coming to the marketplace. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that your goals are, whatever it is that you've been called to do, just be consistent with it. And don't worry about the individual days and the individual hours and the individual minutes in terms of the individual, what happens at that particular moment. That's not what matters. What matters is that you stay in the game and that you're around when it's time before the buzzer goes off, you're able to tip the ball back in. So let me show you how Jesus explained this. First of all, good morning, Selena. How are you? And good morning, Aaron. Good morning to you as well. All right, so let's look how Jesus explained this. He explained this way before the basketball game last night. He says in Luke chapter 11, verse number 5, Jesus says, he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend and shall go unto him at midnight and say unto him, friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine in his journey has come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, trouble me not. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee. Okay? So here's the resistance. Here's poverty talking to this man. All right? He's resisting him, and he's trying to get him not to do nothing, because that's what poverty does. Poverty tries to get you not to do nothing. It does everything it can to convince me and you that it's just not worth the effort. That's poverty's job. Okay? And poverty is doing a good job, on most people. Most people live in poverty. You say, not me, Brother Ricky, I'm middle-aged. Middle-aged, middle income. That's poverty, okay? Because you're either rich or you broke. All right, because poverty means that you can't do nothing for your kids, and you can't do nothing for your kids' kids, and you can't do nothing for your kids' kids' kids. Poverty is so sneaky and so manipulative until it'll fight you and be winning, and you won't even know it. You'll be like, I'm doing good. But what you need to understand is that the only you can be doing good is everybody else around you is doing good. That's the Bible's measurement of what a good man and a good woman is. The Bible's measurement is not like our measurement. Our measurement is I'm doing good if I got a couple of little wood nickels and I'm taking care of my family. But that's not the Bible. The Bible says a good man or a good woman leaves a inheritance to their children's children. So in order for us to be able to fight poverty, the first thing we have to do is we got to resist the urge that just having enough for me is enough. We have to resist that because that's a poverty mindset. So we have to resist that. That's a petty mindset. We have to resist. That's a selfish mindset. That is not the mind of Christ. That's why Jesus is teaching us how to come out of poverty right here. He's teaching us that you can't have a selfish mindset. You can't have a me, myself, and I mindset. You can't think you're okay just because you are right. That's why he's doing this example. That's why he's giving us an example of a man who gets up, let's say he's up at 3 o'clock in the morning, come knock on your door. Say, how you doing, Leah? You're like, I'm doing good. How you doing, Brother Ricky? I'm like, how you doing, Lisa? You're like, I'm doing good, Brother Ricky. How are you? I'm like, how you doing, Trina? You're like, I'm doing good, Brother Ricky. How are you? I'm like, how you doing, Verlaine? You're like, I'm doing pretty good, Brother Ricky, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What can I do for you? I say, well, I got some friends that just came in town, Verlaine, and they hungry. I need to set them out something, but I'm a little short. They kind of surprised me. She said, well, you surprising me too. And not only are you a little short, but you're going to stay a little short. The answer to that is no, bye, have a good day. So Verlaine slams the door on me. Now, we all know that Verlaine, all y'all who know Queen Verlaine know that she's real generous. I'm sure she would treat a brother like that. But, this is for illustration purposes. So Verlaine throw me out. So she thinking that's good. Boy, that Brother Ricky crazy. He coming to your house. I know you're a nice guy. I want to help people and all that. But man, my God, he need to pick his spots. All right. So she yawning, still getting ready to go back to sleep with got her slippers on. Is that brother still out there? Hey, brother, Verlaine, how you doing? Hey, Brother Ricky, didn't I just tell you that it's 3 o'clock in the morning, bro? Holler back at me in the morning or something like that. I don't know, but they hungry. They just came in from out of town, Verlaine, and I got to set them out. All right. So this is the thing that you got to understand about. This is how you become a prosperous person. Okay. Not just prosperous, posturous, okay? Meaning that everybody around you is better off. Everybody coming behind you is better off. That's the attitude of a kingdom man and a kingdom woman. We don't have an attitude about me. Our attitude is thoroughly about what's going on. We are very alert about what's going on around us and what's coming behind us. So our attitude is that we're knocking on your door for the sake of who? Everybody. We want everybody to eat. We want everybody to be okay. We want our family first, and then everybody we know around us who will listen, we want them to be okay. And then we want everybody coming behind us to be okay before they even show up. So these people in this case, let's just say they came to my crib, and I'm talking to Verlaine. How you doing, Alberto? So I'm talking to Verlaine, 3 o'clock in the morning. Verlaine got rollers in her hair, and she like, Brother Ricky, would you please stop bothering me? All right, I'm trying to chill out, trying to get some rest. The grandkids coming over Memorial Day. Would you please get away from my doorstep? So this is the number one thing. If I was taking notes, I would write down if I were you. You're going to have to stop being embarrassed about being wealthy. Let's be embarrassed about being poor. Don't be embarrassed about being wealthy. Don't be embarrassed about having things. Don't be embarrassed about being ambitious. Don't let that embarrass you. Be embarrassed about the idea that you don't have the wherewithal to help the people when they came to your house at 3 o'clock in the morning. You should have already been able to help them. Okay. Be embarrassed by that. Don't be embarrassed by when you go out and you seek some help for them that somebody rejects you, because we are embarrassed by rejection. Human beings are embarrassed by rejection. And then what happens? The rejection sends them right back to poverty. So the person is not embarrassed by the poverty, but they're embarrassed by the rejection that gets you out of the poverty. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is what Jesus is trying to teach us. He's like, listen, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. People don't want to be bothered with you. However, you are resisting poverty. So in order for you to resist poverty, you're going to have to be embarrassed. You're going to have to be humiliated. You're going to have to be rejected. All of us know, everybody who's worked a salt on their back, who's helping anybody at any level, has experienced a lot of rejection. And you know what? We volunteered for it. Are you listening to me? And that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, I keep talking about it because I like it so much. When the man started calling people, he was, I mean, everybody hanging up on this man. But the man was so, I'm talking about Chris Gardner, but he was so adamant about being productive until he was like, man, I'm resisting poverty. Why? Because he's like, he was sleeping in a room with his baby, with his son in airports and stuff. And he was homeless. And I know what it feel like too. So when you resist in poverty, you realize that, hey, I don't mind putting myself in vulnerable positions. I don't mind being embarrassed. Why? Because it is what it is. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and lock hands with poverty and kiss and smooch poverty and act like poverty is my friend. I'm not going to do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suffer the embarrassment of being at Verlaine's house at 3 o'clock in the morning. Verlaine, you nice. That's the only reason. See, I know you ain't real sensitive, so I can use you for an example because you ain't gonna be tripping tomorrow or whenever we see each other in person. You ain't gonna come to my mastermind talking about, Brother Rick, why you have to use my example around the world? I would have let you in the house at 3 o'clock. We know that, Verlaine. Illustration purposes only, all right? So I'm at Berlin's crib and I'm knocking on the door, and she is telling me no in 5 different languages. Why? You see, you need to learn the word no and stop making it such a big deal. The word no is not a bad word. People typically need to tell you no before they tell you yes, almost all the time. One of my kids is like that. Now, it would be nice if I had a new pair of shoes. So I'm like, oh, so they implying they want a new pair of shoes. I'm like, well, you ain't getting a new pair of shoes today. And then, so we go on about the day. We end up by a store. They don't say nothing else about it. So we end up by a store. Next thing I know, I'm walking in the store getting some new shoes. Why? Because they already planted the thought in my head, and they so consistently nice until I just feel like, what the heck? I go ahead and get you a new pair of shoes. I had to say no first, though, just for me. Just make me feel better. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Good morning, Kendra. How are you? People need to tell you no before they tell you yes. People do. The problem is that most of us don't stick around long enough for the yes. I'm talking today about consistency that'll help you resist poverty. You resist poverty because of your consistency in coming to the marketplace, because of your consistency in making your requests, because of your consistency in going to God, because of your consistency in doing your presentations, because of your consistency in speaking up, because of your consistency in your offers. That's what brings you out of poverty, because poverty is your enemy, not your friend. It ain't somebody to get acquainted with. It's somebody. That's what we ought to be uncomfortable with, our poverty. All right, we become uncomfortable with making presentations, and we uncomfortable with presenting ourselves to folk. That's opposite. That's the exact opposite of what we ought to be. We ought to be uncomfortable with being broke. That's what we ought to be uncomfortable with. We ought to be like, that should make us nervous. That should get us out of the bed. That you say, Ricky, why are you live 7 days a week? You act like you broke. With rich people, we work like we broke. And broke people, they work like they rich. Why? Because they act like it ain't nothing. They accustomed to poverty. I don't like poverty. Poverty is my enemy. I'm not happy about that. I like being able to say yeah when the kids and the grandkids ask for something. I like being able to say yes. I mean, they're gonna always get it, but I can always say yes though. Are you digging what I'm saying? At least be in a position where you can always say yes. It's the weekend right here. Where are you this weekend? It's Memorial Day weekend, excuse me. And where are you? I mean, are you where you want to be? Are you hanging out with who you really want to hang out with? Or are you going to spend a lonely weekend away from the kids, away from the grandkids? Can't do this and can't do that. Why? Because of poverty. Why? Because you become so accustomed to poverty, and to poverty is just normal to you. And it's like, what the heck? I'm used to not being able to do what it is that really makes my life happy and worthwhile and purposeful. I don't have enough money to do it. I just can't move around the way I want to. Why? Because you're too accustomed to poverty and you don't resist it. Are you listening to me? I resist poverty. Why? Because I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my grandkids. I want to spend time doing what I want to do. I don't know how many days I got left in life. I don't want to be sending my kids postcards. I want to be there to see them, when it's time to see them. You know what I mean? They got a baby shower. I want to be there. This is going on. I want to be there. I don't want to have to be like, hey, baby, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Hey, baby, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Hey, baby, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Why is that? The only thing that's stopping you from being able to do something is you don't have the time to do it. So you said, and that's what poverty does. Poverty is a time thief. It robs you of all your time. You end up living a life that was so mediocre and so below what you should have been doing, and opportunities that you should be seeing the world. You should be enjoying your life. You should be able to see your kids when you want to see your kids, how you want to see them, teaching them, training them, coaching them, and all of that. But you can't do all of that when all your time and all your day is taken up with poverty. Poverty is your partner. Are you listening to me? I'm teaching you today how to fire poverty as a partner. Come into the marketplace, present yourself, and be consistent. All right. And don't be embarrassed by the fact that what? Somebody's going to reject you, because they are going to reject you, especially in the beginning. Everybody should tell you no in the beginning. Why? Because you just aren't good. So when you start talking to people about things in the beginning, they should reject you. They should tell you no. All right. And you should get used to it. You should be like, you know what? Thank you. Now I see how to change this presentation and make it better. And then somebody else tells you no. And it's just another opportunity to get better. That's all no is. No is not failure. Failure is not doing nothing. No is great. No is a beautiful word. It means that the person lets you know that stuff is weak. You need to change that. All right. That's what no is. That's what rejection is. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not a bad thing. It's something that we should embrace, not run away from. We should embrace no, and we should resist poverty. Because when people tell you yes and your stuff is bad, they don't mean it anyway. All right. It's not a real yes. They're just telling you that to appease you, placate you, and to get rid of you. But they still not going to do no business with you. All right. I'm talking about today how to resist poverty and how to increase your consistency, because it's your consistency that builds up your resistance. The more you do something, the more confidence you get, and then you don't even start caring about nobody talking about you. Are you listening to me? That's right, key maker. All work works. So Jesus is using this example about a person getting up in the middle of the night because they want to help somebody. So here's the number one motivation that we have to resist poverty. We got to really want to help each other. Are you listening to me? Because that's got to be the motivation. Or else what's going to happen? As soon as we start talking to people and getting rejected, we're just going to fold like a lawn chair. And we're not going to help the person. We're going to forget the whole point of why we're talking to this person. See, the whole reason you're giving a presentation is so you can help your children. The whole reason you give a presentation so you can help your spouse. The whole reason you give a presentation so you can help your community. The whole reason you give a presentation so you can help the whole entire world. That's the whole reason why you up making this presentation in the first place. You ain't doing it just to be doing it. So that has to be intense. So when the reason for what you're doing is intense, then the rejection to you becomes non-existent. Are you listening to me? It's like the person is saying no, but in your mind, they're saying yes. It's like the person is saying no, but in your mind, it's like it's already done. It's like, I'm not going to leave here without getting what I came for. So I'm just going to be relentless until you finally give me what I came for. This is what Jesus is teaching. This is the 11th chapter of Luke, and Jesus is teaching consistency. He's like, look, be relentless and don't be embarrassed so easy. Are you listening to me? When I was in, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade, something like that, we had a play that we were doing at my grammar school. So I had to dress up like a raggedy guy and I had to go out on stage and I had to sing this song, sweet little Jesus boy, they made you be born in a manger, sweet little holy child, and we didn't know who you were. So I had to go sing the song, right? It was a Jesus play. I had to add a little fake doll like he was Jesus. So I messed around and went out at the wrong time. I don't know how I got my signals mixed up, but it wasn't my turn to walk out. And I walked out, and them kids laughed at me so hard. The auditorium full of kids. Man, they laughed at me so hard. They laughed at me so hard. They laughed. They was like, get this goofy, what are you doing with that raggedy robe on? I was in the wrong scene. And to walk out with a raggedy robe on in the wrong scene is what? As Popeye would say, embarrassing, right? so they laughing their butt off. You know what I did? I went backstage and I laughed too. I said, man, what? That was so good. How did I get my stuff mixed up? I was embarrassed now, seriously embarrassed, but I was like, what the heck? What you gonna do now? I just messed up. So what happened? When it came time for the scene again, I just went back out there again, and I just gave it to him again. This time it was the right scene and all that sort of thing. I laughed at myself. Let me ask you a question. Do you have enough humility to laugh at yourself? Because you're going to have to laugh at yourself a lot to get anything accomplished. Why? Because you're going to mess up a lot. You are not a perfect person. Nobody's perfect. All right? It ain't going to never happen. This idea about when I get it perfect, Ricky, I'm going to do it. I'm like that. All procrastinators say that. All people everybody that can't put cheese on a waffle, everybody who loves poverty, who is over smooching poverty right now, that's one of the best surefire, really good excuses. Man, I just like to get it perfect, Brother Rick. I'm like, you're not getting nothing perfect. You're just over there kissing poverty's old rusty, crusty lips. Why? Because you're not resisting poverty. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You're not resisting poverty. You are resisting consistency. So you can resist consistency, and then you got to kiss poverty square on the lips, or you can resist poverty through your consistency, and now you can become a prosperous person, a very powerful person, a very impactful person, somebody who can really help your family. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So you can't be what? Sensitive. That's my point. You can't be, if you are sensitive, you going to the grave broke, poor, and your health ain't gonna be good, and your ability to be able to help people are gonna be zero. Why? Because you're too sensitive. Somebody say something to you, man, they got on my last nerve. I'm like, if you don't get rid of that bipolar behavior, what do you mean your last nerve? Ain't no such thing as a last nerve. That's a worldly statement. That ain't no godly statement. The Bible says the add patience to your temperance and teach you all about being patient and stuff like that, and waiting on God and having a good attitude and all that. So you don't read nothing in the Bible about no last nerve. That's some stuff you made up. That ain't in the Bible. You can't make up your own stuff and expect to have a sane mind. We need the Bible to keep our mind sane. We need something to go by to measure what type of attitude and temperament and disposition we ought to have. And those of us who are high achievers, man, please, we like, man, I've been thrown out of better places. When people reject us, we just keep it moving and keep it moving and keep it moving. Why? Because that's how you get ahead. Why? Because we're not thinking about us. We're thinking about everybody that's involved. And everybody that's involved, I mean, I need more than what would help me personally, because that's not the life I was born to have. I was born to be productive, and so are you. Not only are you supposed to be productive, but you're supposed to be reproductive too. You should be so good until you balling as an individual person, extremely successful as an individual person, and you should be able to reproduce that too. Your kids and your kids and those around you and your colleagues should have what? They should develop your really good habits too. And they should be doing what? Really, really well. Nobody should be living in poverty. No, ain't nowhere in the world you can live in poverty when you're consistent. Are you listening to me? Poverty is only for people who do things once, twice, get too embarrassed, and quit. Now I know it happened. I know it happened. Just like I got embarrassed on that stage. Some of this stuff happened when we was kids. You went up to the board, they told you to do a question. You got up there, you didn't really know the answer. Somebody hit you in the back of the head with a spitball, and here you are 30, 40, 50, 60 years later, still mentally messed up. Like, man, I just hate being embarrassed in front of the crowd. So the last thing in the world I'm going to do, people, listen to me good, you all. People would rather be shot by fire than to get up and do a presentation. I know, because I coach people for a living. So I coach people out of being scared. I coach people out of being nervous. I coach them out of that. We talk through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? In my plays, when we do our stage plays and people come in, they try out. You know, they be a little nervous sometimes at first, but we make it through that. You know why? Because it's an environment that's conducive for a person to be their best. Because we don't play that embarrassing stuff around here. Why? Because I've been embarrassed every kind of way a person can be embarrassed. I've been humiliated in 25 different languages. I've done a bunch of dumb stuff that didn't make no sense. And I had people that's been burning bread on me and cutting me up all my life. So you know what it did? It made me real strong and powerful to be able to help the next person who can't be consistent. Because why? Because the first time somebody said something about them, they quit. First time somebody showed up and started burning bread on them, they quit. They started making the person's opinion about them mean more than what their cause is. Are you listening to me? Your cause has to mean more to you than anything anybody could possibly say to you. Why? Because it's like, I'm going to get what I came for. I came here to help somebody, and I'm going to get what I came for. And being sensitive just ain't going to work. But it happens at an early age. I had a young lady who came to one of my plays, and she was trying out, and she's a great singer. I saw her singing at an event, and I said, this young lady can really blow. So I said, would you like to try out for my play? She said, yeah. So she came and she was doing this part with me. She's a good, decent actress, but she's an amazing singer. But she had a part in the play. She had to sing this note that she wasn't used to singing to in a full voice. We were singing a song called Run. Said, I'm running for my life. I'm running cause I wanna see Christ. So that's what we were singing right in this scene in the play. And when that part comes in, she's supposed to say, then I can't run no more. So that's her note. But she's supposed to sing it in a full voice. So she's a little nervous about singing in a full voice because she just hasn't been trained. So she could easily hit the note. But every time she came to it, she was what? Embarrassed. So she didn't really hit it right. So she cracked a couple of times, but it was well within her voice range. But she came to practice what? Consistently. She came to practice every single week, never missed a practice, had a good attitude. So it was getting close to the time for the play. And she came in with a determined look on her face. And she said, Brother Rick, She said, Mr. Rick, she said, when I get ready to sing this note this time, I'm going to really have it right. She said, you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready for you. So we got to her part to play again. And when she cracked again. So she was so angry with herself. I mean, but I never got mad at her. Why? Because of her what? Consistency. See, she was resisting poverty because she was consistently coming to practice. All right. So what is poverty? It's not just about money. Poverty is lack. That's what I'm talking about. Poverty is living your life below where you're supposed to be living. That's what poverty is. So let's just get that definition straight. It's about money too, but it's really just about the spirit of lack, underachieving. That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about poverty. So unless you're consistent, you are a chronic underachiever. And why? So you don't, because you're so embarrassed about being good at something until you don't have no choice but to land where? In the sea of poverty. So this young lady she was like, I'm tired of living in poverty. She said, I'm just gonna keep coming. She said, next week, I'm gonna be ready, Brother Rick. We came in next week. I think we had like 1 week left before the play. We got her to her part. She did her lines flawlessly. And then when it came time for her to hit that note, she's reared her head back and say, then I can't run no more. And she hit it in a full voice and slammed it. It was phenomenal. Everybody started clapping and everything. Her mother and father over there crying and stuff. She really coming out of her shell, Brother Rick. It's like, it's amazing how people live vicariously through their kid. She coming out that shell, brother. Thank you so much. So she was so determined. And then when we had to play, she aced it. She was even better in the play than she had been in practice. But why? Before we even do our stage play, we practiced for 3 straight months. We always practice for 3 straight months. What? So we can get what? Consistency. We're about to start practicing now for our stage play in September. I'm about to start having people right now auditioning around the country, and then we're going to be practicing. It's going to be downtown in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a really good play. It's called The Hustler. It's a gospel stage play about how Jacob tricked Esau out of his birthright. I played the role of Jacob. It'll be our 26th show coming up, and you all are welcome to come to Indianapolis, Indiana. It'll be streamed worldwide as well. So what's my point? My point is that this young lady was consistent, and so that made her resistant. She resisted poverty, and then she ended up being what? An abundant singer. Are you listening to me? When you resist poverty, now you cut that off. So now you have to land in abundance. Abundance is your birthright. You're supposed to be abundant in everything you do, really good at every gift that you have. Why? Because you cut off poverty. You resist the urge to stay where you are and you move on over, even though it's a little bit embarrassing and even though it's a little bit humiliating. And you make yourself vulnerable. You volunteer for vulnerability. Are you listening to me? So this is the example that Jesus is telling us. He's like, this man is up in the middle of the night. In my case, I'm knocking on Berlin's door here. We're using Queen Berlin. How you doing, Bernard? And Sister Trewick, how are you? So I'm using Queen Berlin as an example. Good morning, Chris. I'm knocking on her door. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got some people I really want to help. And she's telling me, Brother Ricky, no. Then she started hooping and no. And I'm like, Queen Berlin. I'm acting just like I don't hear her. I'm like, But my friends are hungry and they really need some food. She's like, no, but my friends are hungry and they really need some food. So let's see what happens. This is Jesus teaching us this lesson about how to resist poverty, all right, and how to live in abundance. He says, for a friend of mine is on a long journey and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, trouble me not, man. You're a lot of trouble. You're a lot of trouble. You're a lot of trouble, Bernard. You're a lot of trouble, Sister Trewick. You're a lot of trouble, Brother Jason. Rep Code Wearables. You're a lot of trouble. You always trying to make something happen. You ruffling the waters around here. All right. You're a lot of trouble, Berlin. You're a lot of trouble. All right. Let's flip the script. Let's say you trying to get this help tonight. Hey, listen, you ought to be a lot of trouble. Let me just help you all. All right. Listen to me good. We should all be trouble for poverty. Are you listening to me? Poverty should be in trouble when we show up. Why? Because we think so abundantly. We're like, man, I'm going to get the best out of this day. All right. Okay. So where's that? That's the direction I'm headed in. I north, south, east, and west is good, but I want to know what's north, south, east, and best. That's what I want to know. That's the direction I want to head in today. They're like, yeah, but it's embarrassing when you start heading in the best direction. Good. They say, well, you get a little nervous when you start heading in the best direction. Great. All right, man. In the best direction over there, people are going to talk about you. Phenomenal. In the best direction over here, you're going to suffer a lot of rejection. Wonderful. Why? Because I don't want the way of least resistance. I want the way of most resistance because that's where all of the abundance is. Why in the world would I take a beeline towards poverty? Poverty, everybody agree with you. Poverty, everybody goes along with you. Poverty, people just placate you and all that sort of thing. Poverty ain't got nothing but a bunch of phony people around. Poverty, that's where it is. I don't want to go there. I want to go where the best is. And where the best is, you're going to be tested and tried, and people are going to be playing you off. You're going to get rejected, and you're going to learn a lot. You're going to grow, and you're going to have an abundant life, and you're going to be able to help the people that you came for. You go down best lane for the sake of helping the people that you came for, and you got to keep remembering that. I'm working for my kids. I'm working for my grandkids. I'm making sure that this stuff take place. I cannot be denied. I will not be denied. All right. This is the attitude that abundant people have. We don't settle for poverty, and I want to encourage you to have the same attitude. So he says, he said, I say unto you, he says, though he will not rise and give him because he is his friend, he said, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needed. All right, so let's talk about that word for a second. Importunity. Everybody write it down. Importunity is not opportunity. All right, this is a Bible word that you've probably never heard unless you read the Bible a lot. Okay, importunity. Importunity means that I keep coming. I keep coming. I keep coming, man, just in case they break, I'm gonna be there. Just in case an opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna be there. This might be my day. This could be my breakthrough. This could be my breakthrough. This could be my breakthrough. Importunity. In other words, I'm going to show up. 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 I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to show up. I'm going to get better. I'm going to show up. I'm going to get better. I'm going to show up. I'm going to get better. I'm going to show up. I'm going to get better. What? Importunity. You say, Brother Ricky, you wearing me out right now just the way you're talking. That's what importunity does. It wears out the opponent. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Who is your opponent? Poverty. Are you listening to me? You got to wear poverty out. Are you listening to me? You don't give poverty no good time. You beat poverty up. Are you listening to me? Don't be so cool with poverty. Don't be kissing and dancing and slow dancing with poverty. Play another slow jam. What's your name, girl? Poverty. Can I have this dance? This time make it sweet on a slow jam. On a slow jam. Anybody want to dance with poverty? You sitting there slow dancing with poverty. Got your cheek on poverty's cheek. Tell poverty, no deal. I got to resist you. In fact, I'm going to fight you. In fact, I'm going to beat you up. What? Through my importunity. Are you listening to me? It's your importunity that creates your opportunity. All right, let me give it to you one more time. Your importunity. This is a Bible word, and it means your pit bull mentality. Your attitude that, man, I'm going to keep coming. 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 I'm gonna keep coming. It don't look too good right now, but I'm gonna keep coming. That's why I like Derek White last night. I mean, he just put himself in a position to tip in a game-winning shot to give his team another chance. He just put himself down there. Who knew if the ball would come out or not? I mean, nobody could really anticipate that. But the bottom line is that, nobody knew that the ball was gonna come out, but he knew that he could be in position just in case it did. He put himself in that position to be able to tip that ball in with less than a second left. And that's why the Boston Celtics are playing ball again, much to my chagrin, because I was rooting for Miami. I was like, but I admired him, though. I wasn't no hater. I was like, that brother did what he's supposed to do. He ran up in there, and he was able to tip the ball in. Why? Because he keep coming, relentless. How are you? How relentless are you? What do? Do you just stop when people get on your nerves? Are you sensitive? Are you dancing with poverty as we speak right now? Slow on a slow jam with your baby poverty and you. I ain't dancing with poverty. No deal on that. I fight poverty every day. What? Through my relentless consistency. You say, Brother Ricky, if I turn on my phone about 10 o'clock in between 10 and 11, almost 7 days a week, man, you pretty much gonna come on and teach me some stuff about the Bible, teach me some stuff about money, teach me some stuff about life. You're right. Unless I got something better to do, unless I got something that's more important to be doing. You're right. Why? Because nobody can stop you from being consistent. You say, but people talk about you, Brother Rick. They dog you. They talk about you ain't no good. Da 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 da. I say that doesn't matter to me. Why? Because the public's opinion about me has zero to do with why I do what I do. I do what I do because I have a family to take care of. I do what I do because I love Jesus Christ. I do what I do because I love you. All right. And can't nobody stop me from, I tell you all the time, I said, I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about that. Can't nobody stop you from loving people. Are you listening to me? Don't you ever let people stop you from loving people. All right. Don't you ever do that. Love people until the day you drop dead. You have 100% control over that. Enjoy your life until the day you drop dead. You have 100% control over that. Consistency gives you what? Control. Control over who? Over you. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, then it just becomes habitual. And the next thing you know, you are amazingly successful, and ain't nothing a devil in hell can do about it. And nobody, whether they like it or not, who cares? Because they can't fight principles. Principles always work. And the principle of consistency means that your life has to get better. It has no choice. You have to get better. You have no choice. So go through the early stages of being embarrassed with things and learn that it's okay to be embarrassed to the day that you drop dead. Just learn how to laugh at yourself. All right. Forgive everybody that hates your guts and keep it moving. All right. And just be a blessing, be a blessing, be a blessing, because it's meant for you to be rich. It's meant for you to have wealth. It's meant for you to be abundant. It's meant for you to be happy. It's meant for you to have a great love life. Everything in your life is meant for you to be living at the top of the food chain in every single area of your life. That's the will of God for you. He said, I came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly, but you got to fight poverty to have an abundant life. Poverty is lack. That's all poverty is. It's just underachievement. That's all poverty is. And this person is knocking on the door at midnight in Berlin. I finally wore Berlin out, knocking on the door at midnight. Berlin, would you please give me some wholesome bread? Can I please get some Sara Lee for the people over here? Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee. She said, Brother Ricky, if you sing out there one more time, nobody does it like Sara Lee. I said, nobody does it like Sara Lee, Berlin. Berlin, nobody does it like Sara Lee. She get tired of me singing out there. She said, all right, bro. All right. She finally opened up the door. What did Jesus say? He said, first they was making excuses. Then he said, go ahead. Because of his importunity, I will rise and give him as many as he needed. Then Jesus says this, and I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. All right. So Jesus is saying, listen, abundance is your birthright. Ask for it. Abundance is your birthright. Knock for it. Abundance is your birthright. Seek it out. He said, for everybody that asks it, he said, you're going to get what you ask for. So he said, Brother Ricky, I'm not happy with what I got. Well, you just getting what you asked for. You say, that's not true, Brother Ricky. I asked for this and I asked for that and I didn't get it. No, that's not true. What's not true is that you are not getting what you asked for, because you always get what you ask for. So everything that you have in your life right now, you asked for it. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You said, Brother Ricky, I did not ask for what's going on with me. Yes, you did. Because Jesus said, whatever you ask for, that's what you get. Whatever you seek, that's what you find. Whatever door you knock on, that's the door to get open. So you said, right now I'm knocking on what? Poverty's door. Well, that's why you got poverty, because that's the door you're knocking on. Are you listening to me? I ask people. I said, how much money do you want? And they said, Brother Ricky, I'm not really interested in no money. I just want to be, I just want my kids to be as good as possible. I just want to be okay. I just want to be where everything's all right and all that sort of thing. I said, well, you got what you asked for. Okay. You asked for mediocrity, you got it. Okay. You asked for underachievement, you got it. And what you're really saying, what people don't understand is this. First of all, that's not humility. People think that that's humble because they say things like that. They're like, if I just had enough of this and if I just had enough of that. I say, but that's not biblical what you're saying. Okay. You didn't get that from Jesus. You got that. That's a lazy spirit of indifference that you got from being around what? Poverty-minded people. So you saying the same thing you heard the last person who over here slow dancing with poverty say. They say things like that. If I could just get enough of this and if I just had enough of that, and they disguise it as being humble. But what it really is it makes it where you don't have to do no real work. In other words, you just be satisfied with working a slave master's job. You know you're going to die poor, and you know your kids ain't going to have nothing, and you're just satisfied with that. And then you say that stuff like it's okay. You say that stuff like you don't have, like it ain't no consequences behind that. You say that like poverty, like passing poverty is all right. Passing poverty is not okay. Passing poverty is not acceptable. Passing poverty is the result of laziness. It's the result of indifference. It's the result of haughtiness, arrogance, and a person's inability to humble themselves to be embarrassed long enough to do something right. That's what poverty is. That's when you dance with poverty. But when you say, listen, I'm not going to dance with poverty no more. I'm about to kick it to the curb. I'm about to come on out to the marketplace. I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to get it wrong until I get it right. I'm going to accept the rejection until I can get better. I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to let God use me. Why? Because I got a whole family at stake and I'm not going to make the mistake of leaving my family at stake. They're too important to me. Everything about life that's important to me is more important to me than being embarrassed. Like, listen to me. Good morning, Brittany. How are you? And good morning, Nice, if that's correct. All right, let me finish this last scripture for you, and we'll get out of here. And wish you a great Memorial Day. This is Jesus in Luke, the 18th chapter. Here he is again. He's talking about praying and how you need to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. But he's not just teaching us about praying. He's teaching us, period, about consistency and how when you are consistent, then you are resistant to what? Lack. All right. So here he is. He says, and he spake another parable saying, there was in a city a judge. This is Luke, the 18th chapter. There was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. So what is Jesus teaching us? This is Jesus. It's Jesus Christ. He's teaching what? Consistency. He says, listen, he said, it's a judge. I want to give you an example. This is Jesus talking. He said, this dude, he don't care nothing about God and he don't care nothing about people. He's an unjust judge. Remind you of a bunch of judges that we have sitting on these seats today. All right. He's an unjust judge. Let me tell you something y'all don't know about the law. According to the law, every judge that sits on a judge seat, they have to give up their lawyer's card before they can. I can teach you the laws. If you come to my financial IQ challenge, we talk about this. So they sit. Every courtroom is really a bank. All right, it's really a cash register, and they have all these court appearances to charge all of these fees. And a judge is supposed to give up his lawyership when he becomes a judge. But if you check the rolls of the judges around the world, all over the United States, 99.99999% of them still have their lawyer's card. So when a court case takes place, they get paid to be a judge and they get paid to be a lawyer, which is why they work in cahoots with the state's attorney and why when you have these little public defenders who don't care, some of them care, most of them don't. They all like working cohesion with one another. It's just a bunch of rituals that they go through. And that's why you have court appearance after 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 court appearance, because what? They unjust judges. Why? They unjust judges. And because they unjust judges, they just want to keep the stuff coming back and forth in court. And that way they keep getting paid. That's what their motivation is. Jesus said one of these cats is sitting on the judge seat. Another thing about judges, why these black robes and stuff, the courtroom, they wear these black robes because these black robes are indicative of seances. That's why a judge wear a black robe. Come to the Financial IQ Challenge. I teach you so much about money and about our system and about how you think the United States is a country when it's really just a company with the EIN, just like everybody else. You'll come over here and learn some reality if you come to the Financial IQ Challenge. And that's coming up next week. By the way, we have a Financial IQ Challenge preview coming up tonight at 6 p.m. If you want to come, send me a message on Instagram and say, Brother Ricky, just say challenge. Just send me a message that says challenge. And we'll send you a link to come to our preview. It's free tonight. Some of my friends are going to be there. It's going to be 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern. Some of my friends will be there. We'll be discussing how they doing, how they making all this money, how they getting these big checks with their trust and all of that. So if you guys want to come and be a part of that tonight, it's absolutely free. We're just going to be previewing what we're going to be doing next week. Our challenge is into next Monday, the following Monday, as we speak today. So Jesus is saying this unjust judge, he don't care nothing about people. He don't care nothing about man. He ain't afraid of nobody. He got no regard for nobody. He's callous. He said, but this woman, this widow comes to him and she started, you know how it is. She is wearing this brother out, wearing this brother out, wearing this brother out. And God said, why don't you come to me like that? He said, because you can't wear me out. All right. He said, I'm the Lord your God. He said, I faint not, and I don't get weary. Okay. He says, so come to me. And what? Keep coming to me. And what? Keep coming to me. And then do what? Come to me some more. And then do what? Come to me some more. And then do what? Come to me some more. God said, why? Because I'm a very forgiving God. I'm a very kind God. I'm a very alert God. I'm concerned about your life. I'm concerned about your future. I'm concerned about you making it. And when you know you're falling short, keep coming to me. You say, come to me how long? Come to me however long you need to come to me until you can get what you came for. That's what God is teaching us right here. See, people are so impatient until you cross a person and they'll be through with you in a few minutes. But God is not like that. God is like, come to me as often as you want. You remember how Peter, how when he asked Jesus, he said, how often should we be forgiving our brother? He said 7 times 7, the way the law said. Jesus said, no, I tell you 70 times 7. What? In other words, as many times as you need to forgive them, as many times they'll come to you and ask for some forgiveness. You say, but I just know that he ought to know better, But if he come to you and ask you for some forgiveness, forgive him again. And if he come to you, forgive him again. And then what is Jesus teaching people? Forgive your friends and your family. Forgive everybody to the day you drop dead if they come to you. Some people, they ain't gonna never come to you. They just run you over and they ain't gonna never apologize about nothing. They're gonna die like that. But hey, it is what it is. You can't make nobody do nothing. But for the people that come to you, forgive them. Forgive them. They cross you and they ask you for some forgiveness. Forgive them. Don't keep even bringing it up. You say, but last time this. Let me tell you one reason why it's hard for people to ask for forgiveness is because as soon as somebody asks you, you start talking about what happened. You start bringing up the old stuff and then embarrassing the person even more instead of just forgiving the person. Just like God forgave you, because you'd be dead this morning if God hadn't forgiven you. I'm talking about if he didn't forgive you yesterday, you'd be dead today. All right. So how can we have any other kind of attitude towards anybody? If you come to me and tell me you're sorry about something, it's over with as far as I'm concerned. All right. And that's the attitude God is teaching people. He's like, look, live an abundant life. Don't live no little petty life. That's a poverty-stricken life that's always talking about yesterday and always holding grudges against people. It's a crazy way to live. It's a fickle way to live. It's a demonic way to live. It ain't got nothing to do with reality. It's a fake world. And you just paint yourself into that corner. It cuts off your life, cuts off your lifespan, and your ability to be able to do things at a high level is reduced dramatically. When you walk around with them rocks in your jaws and them tight butt cheeks and unforgiveness. So that stuff don't work. All right. It's not good for you. It's not good for your spirit. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your soul. It's not good for your pocketbook. It is the essence of poverty. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Poverty is wreaked in unforgiveness. Man, people with the unforgiving spirit, they broke as hell. I'm talking about they live a really petty life. Are you listening to me? Because they breaking major rules. And I'm not going to live like that. How about you? How about you? How about you? It's Memorial Day. And let's do what? Let's have a short memory about anything that we vexed about. All right. Let's have a short memory. Let's throw it into the sea of forgetfulness, because revenge is a poison that you drink, thinking that wishing that somebody else is drinking it. That's what revenge is. Don't drink that poison. All right. Do not have that attitude. It's a petty attitude. It's a childish attitude. And it's a seriously demonic attitude, because if God took that attitude towards me and you, would none of us be here to even enjoy this Memorial Day message today. All right. So enjoy your life. Smile. Enjoy the day. Embrace the day. Embrace your family this weekend. Have a good time. Don't have a good time. Have a great time. All right. If you sit around and you have a conversation with some folks who you don't really appreciate and all that sort of a thing, don't hold no grudges against them. And if they ask you, forgive them. All right. But even if they don't ask you to forgive them, still treat them good. All right. Why? Because you got control over how you treat a person. All right. You ain't got no control over how they treat you, but you got control over how you treat them. You be the bigger person. And you enjoy your day and you enjoy your life and go into this life dominating. Abundance is our birthright, not poverty. Resist poverty by being consistent in the marketplace. Resist poverty by being consistent with our attitude and going towards God. Resist poverty by being consistent in the way that we treat each other and forgive each other. Be consistent. All right. Your consistency produce what? Your resistance. Come on, let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for a beautiful Memorial Day. What a phenomenal God you are to allow us to be here today, to be able to experience another holiday weekend. And Lord, we got loved ones who we missed, that we really love, Lord, and our hearts are broken because they're gone. Some through tragedy, some without unexpectedly, Lord, and then some who were able to live rich, ripe lives. And we thank you for that. But Lord, we just thank you for every moment that we have on earth because we realize that our days are numbered and that we're just paying rent right here. and that we don't own anything. We naked we were when we came out of our mother's womb, and we're going to return to the grave naked. So, Lord, help us to love each other while we can. Help us to reach out to each other while we can. Help us to embrace one another while we can, Lord. Above all, help us to love you while we can, and help us not to be bashful about coming to you and letting you know what it is that we need, what our shortcomings are, and Lord, just how desperate we are to be in your good graces. Because, Lord, you said you would in no wise cast us out, whosoever cometh to you. And we're going to keep coming and keep coming. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful holiday. For those of you all who are interested in being at our financial IQ preview tonight, if you'd just like to come and find out what we're about, at absolutely no charge whatsoever, just send me a message on Instagram. Send it to me now, and I'll respond to it right away. And we'll send you the link for tonight, and just put challenge in my direct message. Okay? It's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. I love you, and ain't nothing y'all can do about that. And remember, the stellar is as stellar does. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy your day. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. God bless you.